Welcome to Deep Dive Discussion, where we explore the ideas, strategies, stories, and inspiration that really matter. This podcast is produced by Exhaustion, the creator of this program. Now, let's dive in. Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive, taking the sources you provide and, well, pulling out the insights that could really make a difference. And this time we're digging into a pretty interesting idea from the book, The Unseen Privilege of Complaining. It's by Coco Lacerna and Exhaustion.
Right, I remember this one.
Yeah, specifically we're looking at their 13th principle, exhaustion and strength.
Yes, that one definitely makes you stop and think.
It really does. The core idea is, well, it feels a bit strange at first. This notion that the exhaustion we all, grumble about sometimes might actually be a kind of privilege.
It's definitely counterintuitive, isn't it? We're so used to thinking of tiredness as purely negative, something to fix, to get rid of.
Exactly. So the plan today is to kind of unpack that. Why looking at it this way could actually be, well, pretty meaningful.
It's a fascinating pivot Coco and Yish make. They're basically saying, look closer. That feeling of being exhausted, it often implies you have the capacity, the ability to engage with life in a way not everyone does.
Yeah, the book puts it really powerfully. It says, let me get this right. It is still a privilege to complain about exhaustion because there are those who are too weak to even stand wishing they had your strength.
Wow. Yeah, that hits hard.
It does. So, okay, what's the real meat of this? What are Coco and Yish really getting at here?
Well, I think at its heart, it's about looking at what that feeling, that tiredness signifies, If you're exhausted, it usually means you've been doing something.
Working, running around, taking care of things.
Exactly. Working, caring for family, maybe pursuing a passion, a hobby, you've used energy. And, well, there's a basic level of strength, even opportunity, just baked into that fact, the fact that you can expend energy.
Yeah, it's like this exhaustion paradox. That's kind of how I see it, because we all naturally complain about being tired, don't we? We long for a break, for rest. It's almost automatic.
Oh, absolutely. It's a default setting for many of us, that feeling of being stretched thin, having too much going on. It's such a common human experience. But what Coco and Yush are asking us to do is just pause. Consider that this feeling, even though it's unpleasant sometimes, often points to a level of activity, of involvement in life.
That some people might actually long for.
Precisely. People who, maybe because of illness or circumstance or age, don't have that same capacity to get tired from doing things, they might wish they could feel that kind of exhaustion.
And the book uses some really vivid stories to bring this home. Let's talk about Jesse first, the marathon runner. That example really stuck with me.
Oh, Jesse's story is a perfect illustration, isn't it? It shows how our view of exhaustion is so tied up with what we value, what we can do.
Yeah. So here's a guy pushing his body to the limits, right? Intense training, always feeling that deep muscle fatigue.
The kind of tired only serious athletes really know. And yeah, the book says you complain about it sometimes, like anyone would.
But then everything changes. He has this spinal injury and suddenly he can't run anymore. That specific exhaustion, the sore muscles, feeling breathless after a hard run, it's just gone. Not possible for him anymore.
And that's the real kicker, the turning point you mentioned. He realizes that the very feeling he used to resent,
he misses it.
He misses it terribly. Because that exhaustion wasn't just tiredness. It was proof of his passion, his ability, his striving. It was linked directly to something he loved.
It's amazing how losing something can completely reframe how you feel about the discomforts that came with it.
It really is. Jesse's story makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we label something as just bad because it feels hard, without seeing how it connects to the meaningful parts of our lives?
That's a really good point. What are our complaints actually pointing towards? Which brings us to Monica, the parent. I imagine a lot of people listening will relate to her story.
Oh, absolutely. The relentlessness of raising young kids, juggling a household, maybe a job on top of it.
Yeah, 3 kids in her case. Constant demands. Exhaustion is just the background noise of life. And all you dream of is a bit of quiet, maybe a full night's sleep.
For so many people in that phase, that feeling of being constantly needed, pulled in a million directions, it defines that period. It's incredibly tiring.
No doubt.
But Monica's story highlights how that intense, draining time is also deeply connected to purpose, to love, to feeling essential.
Right, because then time passes, the kids grow up, the house gets quieter.
And the chaos subsides.
And Monica finds herself missing it. Not just the noise, maybe, but the feeling of being so central, so needed. The exhaustion was in a way, evidence of that vital role she played.
Exactly. It builds on Jessie's story about purpose, but maybe in a more universally relatable way for many. Her tiredness wasn't just a drain, it signified her importance within her family structure. The absence of that specific exhaustion felt like, well, like a different kind of loss.
And then there's Marky, the caregiver. Wow, his story carries a different kind of weight, I think.
Definitely. Years spent caring for his aging father. The sleepless nights, the constant worry, the sheer physical and emotional toll. It's hard to imagine a deeper kind of exhaustion, really. Marky's situation really drills down into that connection between being tired and love, duty, commitment. The demands are just immense. And, his longing for rest, for things to be easier, was completely understandable.
Huh.
But then his father passes away, and that peace, that rest he longed for, it arrives.
And it's complicated.
Very complicated. Because he realizes that the exhaustion he often hated, the tiredness he cursed, it was a direct result of his father still being there. I mean, he could still provide care, could still be with him.
So the exhaustion was proof his father was still alive.
In a way, yes. Its absence wasn't just relief, it was also this profound confirmation of loss. The exhaustion was a tangible link, a constant reminder of his father's presence and his own ability to care. The silence afterwards wasn't just quiet, it was the end of that connection.
Gosh, these stories they really drive the point home, don't they?
Yeah.
About the power of shifting your perspective.
They really do.
And Coco and Yish don't just leave it there. They offer some, practical ways to make that shift when you feel that wave of tiredness hit.
Right, instead of the automatic, I'm so tired.
Yeah. They suggest trying phrases like, I'm fortunate to have work that demands my energy, or I have responsibilities that give my life purpose.
Or even just, I have a body that allows me to contribute, move, and create. Something fundamental like that.
It feels different saying it that way, doesn't it?
It really does. These reframes work because they shift your focus. Instead of just landing on the negative feeling, the fatigue itself.
You look at the why.
Exactly. You acknowledge the positive reasons behind the fatigue. It's recognizing that the tiredness is often just the byproduct, the evidence of a life that's active and engaged and hopefully meaningful in some way.
So it's not about pretending it's easy or fun to be exhausted.
Not at all. It's about seeing it as maybe evidence. Proof of participation, proof you're pushing yourself, contributing, using your abilities, not just a burden to escape.
Which leads into this really potent thought experiment they pose in the book. Kind of ties it all together.
Yes, that question. It's designed to make you pause, isn't it?
It is. They basically ask you, the listener, to imagine, what if the thing that exhausts you today just disappeared tomorrow? Poof, gone.
Yeah, your demanding job, your family responsibilities, the training for that race, whatever it is.
Would you really miss feeling drained? Or, and this is the core of it, would you realize that the exhaustion itself was never the real burden? That it was actually, as they put it, proof that you were alive?
That's a powerful question to sit with. Because often the things that drain us are also the things that give structure, purpose, connection.
Right. If the job vanished, or the kids were suddenly grown and gone, or you physically couldn't pursue that passion anymore, would that really be better? Or would you miss the challenge, the engagement, the very things that, yes, made you tired?
It forces you to consider the alternative, the potential emptiness left if the source of your exhaustion was removed. What would that absence truly mean for your life, your sense of self, your meaning?
So wrapping this up, the main takeaway here isn't, love being exhausted. That's not it.
No, not at all. It's much more subtle.
It's more about making a conscious choice, maybe, to see that tiredness, at least sometimes, as a sign of a full life, an active life, an engaged life.
Precisely. And maybe the next time you feel that familiar drag, that weight of tiredness, there's a little opportunity there, just a moment to acknowledge why you feel that way.
To maybe feel a flicker of gratitude for the work, the family, the body, the passion, whatever it is that demanded your energy.
Yeah. Little gratitude for the capacity to have your energy demanded.
Because, as Coco and Yish put it so well near the end, to be tired is to have lived another full day.
It's a simple line, but it lands, doesn't it? It reframes the entire experience.
It really does. It suggests that maybe exhaustion isn't the enemy we always make it out to be. Maybe it's just the price of admission for a life fully lived.
A perspective that can actually foster a much deeper appreciation for, for everything we do and are able to do.
Thanks for listening. Grab Ishistai's latest book on Amazon. Need business consulting, writing a book and publishing, or AI? Yish has your back. Contact Ishistio or leave a comment. Until next time, keep diving deep.